Hello Libras, and welcome to Embrace the Moon Tarot and your new moon October 2017 reading. I apologize for not having the general tarot scopes for this month, but I had some family medical stuff I had to attend to and I just didn't have the time. But I didn't want to not put up a video, so I'm doing new moon readings. New moon in October 2017 is in Libra. And we will be focusing on balance. So what sort of vibrations the new moon is going to have available to you that can create better balance in your life, what it is you need to release so that you can pull that vibration into your life and utilize it, and what it is that you need to focus on that will allow you to release and manifest with that vibration. So let me go ahead and finish shuffling. We have higher knowledge. Release and focus. Okay, so first and foremost, the energies that you're going to have available to you during the new moon, and I feel that this is going to be strongest on the actual new moon, is higher knowledge. So there's some spiritual work that you've been doing, some really deep internal work that you've been kind of focusing on in hopes to create some growth and expansion. You've had some goals. You may not have actually outlined and defined them specifically, but you had a general goal of some spiritual growth and expansion that you wanted to experience over the course of the last few months, I feel. And as a result of that, you put quite a bit of energy and focus, and you're going to see that to come to a head, I guess you could say. And I feel it's going to be most prominent on the day of the new moon, and you're going to have access to you, a connection to higher knowledge. All of this work, like I said, even if you didn't actually define the detailed specifics of this work that you've been doing, you may have had a very general idea of how you kind of sort of wanted to work in what direction and what you kind of sort of wanted. You're going to have a very defined connection and access to a higher understanding that you have been knowingly or unknowingly working towards. And if you take the time to sit in space and really open yourself up, there's some connections and higher knowledge and a connection to a higher purpose and a higher side of self and a higher power that you didn't even realize you were desiring to connect to. You hadn't realized that this had this much potential, and it's going to be available to you on the new moon at its strongest. You can access it a little bit in the day before and the day after, but it's going to be at its height. It's going to be at its peak on the new moon. So what is it that you need to release to make it so that you create a nice open palette for this higher knowledge to be available and most readily accessible for you? Is eternal love. And that seems like kind of an odd thing to put in release, but it's not the love itself that needs released. It's your definition of pure, untainted, unadulterated, neutral love. I feel that there is still a few slightly biased definitions of love on a broader, wide scale concept. You perceive and you feel like you are being unbiased and neutral in how you present your love. And this isn't love from a lover standpoint. This isn't love from necessarily a friendship or family standpoint. This is kind of a love on a very broad, the world as a community, and how loving and acceptant you are on that scale. And you're unknowingly a little bit biased in one direction than you realize. And that's what you have to release. And everybody's journey and understanding this concept and what it is that the universe wants you to open yourself up to, and how it can help you to define this from a more neutral and more acceptant than you already are, because you are accepting, you are very loving, and for the most part you are fairly neutral, but there's still some aspects of bias. And it feels kind of political, for some of you anyhow, that the universe is letting you know that that bias is still a bias. And your definition of that and what you need to shift and change your perception of that is what's going to help you to access this higher level of higher knowledge, this higher level of connection with your higher power, this higher level connection of a higher version of yourself. And the hard work is going to be being able to sit in space and recognize the bias. That's going to be the hardest part for you. But the more you can sit in space and release this bias, the more you can sit in space and be able to call out and recognize and therefore release this bias, so that your love that you already give can be that much more neutral, that much less tainted, is going to create much more space for the vibrations of this higher connection. Your focus, and I feel that this is not so much focus as much as the outcome of this, but knowing that this can be the outcome is going to help you to give you strength and help you to focus better, is the community. It's spider community and web weaving. So there's a connection, and I think that it's the connection that you have as a result. Some of the work that you do has you constantly wanting to connect on a higher level spiritually. And when I say work that you do, I'm talking like physical work in the physical realm and during your earth walk. So some of the work that you do in the earth realm require you, or has you desiring always to have a better connection spiritually, a more open connection, a deeper connection, which is why you've been doing this work to begin with. And as a result of this, if you tap into this, you are going to be able to give yourself a stronger connection in general with the community that you work in, the community that you participate in, that's part of this earth connection that you have. It feels work oriented for a lot of you that I'm tapping into. A lot of you, you have spiritual connections that's work related in this earth realm. And it's going to heighten that. It's going to increase it. It's going to intensify. It's going to provide better connection, better networking, and therefore the abundance that comes when we have this sort of connection. So this is both the outcome and what for you to focus on. So you can focus, and this can be the strength and the courage that you need to be able to sit in space and recognize and call out the biases that the universe is trying to point out to you, so that you can release it and create more space. And then as a result of that, create a higher connection, a deeper, higher connection. And as a result of that, the connection on earth that provides what it provides for you here on earth is going to be deeper and broader and more abundant as a result of it. So it sounds like you've got some deep work to do, but it looks like the new moon is just bursting with this energy. Like it's so ready to give you this on the new moon, and then to help you utilize it as you help to build on it and give to it to the full moon. Yeah, it just feels like it has the potential of being a fabulous new moon for you. So I hope you can tap into it. I hope it is a fabulous new moon. I hope I get to see you in November. And until then, happy October and happy new moon.